Well, good evening. Good evening, Andrew Ashurst, one of the international wine ambassadors of Penedès. And good evening. Hi.
Hi, how are you?
You're British, right?
Yep, I'm British, yes.
British.
I'm from the southwest, Plymouth.
All right, good. Hi, Poland. Hi, Spain. And yes, let's start. Penedès tasting, and Andrew Ashurst. And then...
Hello everyone. I'm going to talk about the designation or the denomination of origin, Penedès. I've been here since 1992, so I know just a little bit about it. And we're going to start off with some images so that you can get to grasp of what we actually have here. Now, our main focal point is obviously on viticulture. It is a relatively small denomination or designation of origin, some 2,500 hectares of vineyard, but we concentrate a lot on the small details. There's a lot of tradition, a lot of heritage, but also innovation to the region, as you'll see in the next 10 minutes. We look to strive to go forward, but always looking back to techniques that worked in the past. As you can see here in the photos, the use of herds, sheep in the vineyard, and also cover crops. So, as I said before, a main focal point for Penedès is the vineyard, the area, and also talking about specifically about autochthonous grape varieties. We have, as I said, a lot of heritage. As you can see in this picture, these are the mountains of Montserrat, which are to the north of of Penedès. And this is a cultural, historical, and which is patrimony, if you want. It's heritage, because Montserrat is one of the patron saints of Catalonia, and we have La Moreneta. So there's a lot of history in the region, which also we will be seeing during the talk. People come to Penedès and sometimes they think that is very flat, wide, expanded areas. But as you can see here, this image is that although we haven't got the terraces like in other places in Spain and in Catalonia, we do, and there are a lot of vineyards, micro parcels of vineyards that are based on this terrace plot system. And you can see this in all of Penedès around the Roman hills. As I said before, the Penedès, the vineyards, we have 2,500 hectares. People usually think there are a lot more in this region, in the Dio Penedès, but we have 150 cellars in the region as well, with 2,100 wine growers. So what I've said before about micro parcels, micro plots, you can see it's actually quite significant because we have 2,500 hectares, 2,100 wine growers, and an annual production of 18 million bottles. Penedès is in the northeast of Spain. As you can see, this is the Iberian Peninsula. We have Portugal to the opposite side on the Atlantic coast. And here we are, where you can see the arrow, and we are on the Mediterranean coast, about 250 kilometers or 200 kilometers from France. Penedès is some 50 or 45 kilometers from Barcelona. It's a great wine tourism place to visit. And also we're about 45 kilometers from Tarragona as well in the south. So we're actually in the middle of two of the main capitals in Catalonia, in the region. We have at one side the river Llobregat. These are all our landscapes and these are all our limiting points. So we have one river to one side that limits the area, another river, which is the River Gaia in the south. Then we have the Mediterranean Sea. And then, as we saw before, we have the mountains of Montserrat. If you look at this picture, you can see all the little red dots in the center. Now, I'm going to go to the next slide where you'll see a little bit about the geology of the area and the rugged landscape that we do have. All the dots were in the middle valley part, but it doesn't mean that the vineyards are there. The vineyards can be found along the coastal range, which is Massís de Garraf, which is next to the sea. We do start off obviously at 0 meters above sea level, and it goes up to and exceeds 800 meters above sea level. People are quite surprised about this because, again, we see the main area in the center and people think that it's very flat. But as I said, we can go up to 800 meters above sea level. So we have this pre-coastal range, and then going further in, we have a coastal range, and then we have a pre-coastal range, which, as you can see here, is La Serralada Prelitoral. Now, the valley area, obviously millions of years ago, was obviously full of water. It was a basin, and here we have very fertile soils, whereas at the top part and along the coastal range, we have soils that are obviously, and topsoils that are not as deep. Some 20 years ago, the DO Penedès took it upon themselves to go through an extensive study of the soil types in the area, and they came up with 10 different subzones, obviously depending on the climate, depending on altitudes, depending on soil types, depending on grape varieties and how they adapt to the different areas. Here you can see the 10 different sub-areas, and here people can actually put these subzones or these sub-areas on the bottle if the grapes are grown within that area. But I'll come to that in just one moment. When it comes to the categorization of the Penedès wine region, we have B. DO Penedès, which is DO Penedès wine, which is a general status. We have a zone wine, which is what I've just said. We have 10 subzones, and you can use, and some people do, some people don't. For example, the people in Massís de Garraf, which is the fifth from the bottom, people from Massís de Garraf do use this on their labels quite a lot. So the zona would be, these zones have their own identity. They are 100% organic, and this is something that you really have to go away with over this tasting. And they try to push and empower people to use the autochthonous varieties that we'll also look at in just a minute. When it comes to B de Mas and B or Gran B de Mas, Amas, M-A-S, another term that you have to go away with. Amas, and I'm just going to show you a lovely picture now. Amas is a masia. A masia is a Catalan or a traditional Catalan farmhouse that is obviously has a property, but also annexed vineyards around it. It has a unique identity. They were the center of Catalan culture from the 11th century on, and they're very important to the area. And as you can see here, they have some lovely sceneries and some lovely views. So B de Mas, which is, it has to be, so the vineyards, to be able to use B de Mas, has to be within 2 kilometers of that property. So the vineyards are next to the property. They have to be hand-picked, the grapes. The vineyards have to be no less than 10 years old. And the Mas, the Masia, is centenary. The Mas or the Masia, the farmhouse, has to be recognized by the public, also by the market, but also for its quality, with no less than 5 years of recognition on the market. Now, on the other hand, Gran B de Mas is a step up. How? The vineyards have to be a minimum of 25 years old, and the recognition that has to be entailed and with the Mass and the wines made on the Mass have to be no less than 10 years. Okay? As I said before, this is a Mass. There are some Masses that obviously are annexed or are still today making wine. Others are rural accommodation. So all in all, wine and vineyard and this region do go hand in hand. Why does all this happen and why are we unique? I said before, we have a lot of tradition, we have a lot of history, but also we are very innovative. Wine arrived in the Penedès wine region with the Phoenicians, then the Greeks, then the Romans. And we've found that wine in this region goes back to the 7th century before Christ, BC. Here we can find, or here we can see a site, an archaeological site, which is called Font de la Canya, Fountain of the Cane. And they are carbonized, they found carbonized grape seeds, obviously from winemaking, mineralized vine cuttings, and also amphora and other items that we can also see here. Now, one of the main items that has been found, and that if you look into the top right-hand corner, you'll see the logo of Déu Penedès. And Déu Penedès, as you can see here, it is this lovely lady, which is the bust of the goddess Demeter or Tanit, which is the goddess of agriculture and fertility. And in the center of her forehead and on her crown, she has grapes. When it comes to grape varieties, we use autochthonous varieties, the first being white varieties, Macabeu, Xarel·lo, Parellada, Malvasia de Sitges, and Muscat. These are white grape varieties. Xarel·lo being our star. Parellada is more planted to the higher grounds in the north of the area, and Malvasia de Sitges and Muscat are planted towards the coast. Sumoll is a red variety that actually came back in around about 5 to 10 years ago. It wasn't accepted before, and now every day more and more we're finding more people making Sumoll. Before it used to be quite rustic, and now what's happened is that the grape growers and the winemakers are doing a fantastic job, because Sumoll is high in acidity, high in tannins, and winemaking techniques is just rounding that off. We're also, as I said before, an innovative wine region. We are recovering at a very quick pace now ancient varieties. 2 more have just been accepted in the new rules and regulations, which is Moneu and Forcada. Moneu being a red variety, Forcada a white variety. And also we can use international varieties such as Chardonnay, Cabernet Sauvignon, Merlot, and Syrah. Innovation. Innovation, why? Because the international varieties were brought in the 70s. And also along with that, that movement, if I can say, it was Senor Torres that brought in, for example, the use of Chardonnay and Cabernet Sauvignon. But also we had a movement going towards what we are today, which is organics. And that was through the first winery, which is Albedinoia. But that has led everyone to be extremely on their toes and continually looking for better ways to improve the vineyard area. Xarel·lo, as I said, is our white variety, is our star. Xarel·lo is a variety that has a medium-sized berry. It's not very compact. Parellada is more compact. And we can find wines that obviously are young, some with blends, but also aged wines that are aged or even fermented in wooden barrels, aged in wood, and even lees stirring. Now, lees stirring is one of the key factors. There are a lot of wineries that do a lot of lees stirring, which is also batonnage. And when it comes to wood, winemakers in the region are very quick, very good winemakers, very intelligent. And when we started some 20 years ago, Xarel·lo was used to be very oaky, etc. And now, working with less wood, more finesse, and also working with the properties of the actual variety. Aromatically speaking, we can find green fruits, citrus fruits, and also herbal notes such as fennel, which is quite characteristic of Xarel·lo. But also, when on the palate, I always like to teach people that Xarel·lo adds complexity to the palate. Why? It has acidity. Obviously, it has some sweetness in the grape, yeah, which obviously gives it 11.5, 12, 12.5 alcohol. But we have another level when it comes to food matching. Why? Because the grape variety is slightly bitter from the skins, and it gives it more depth and length, making it an extremely gastronomical wine. The Dio Penedès, when it comes to numbers, 50% of the wines are white wines, 9 rosé, 34% are red wines, and these are improving day by day, and they are becoming very fresh, unique, and now even with the new recuperated varieties, they are spot on. And sweet wines, and the last but not least, sparkling wines, which is also called Classic Penedès, which has 4%. Now, 70% of the production of the 18 million bottles, or just under 18 million bottles, is sold on national market. Export market is 30%. And what we're looking for is quality. Quality at extremely good price ratio relationships. It is you see Dio Penedès, and it's one of those wines that you say, I know I'm going to get quality with what I pay. As I said before, we talked about Classic Penedès, the sparkling wines of the region in Dio Penedès. The Classic Penedès sparkling wines have to be 100% organic. You probably know, you're wine lovers, wine professionals, and you know that in this region there are other sparkling wine designations and other brands. But this is a Classic Penedès, is in and within the designation of origin. As I said, 100% organic, minimum aging on the lees of 18 months. The disgorgement date has to be on the bottle along with the vintage. The grapes have to be 100% from this region, and there are no less than 18 wineries that actually make the Classic Penedès. The aims for the future, I think, is bright, because apart from maintaining and even improving quality because of the innovation that people are doing in this region, we are consolidating Xarel·lo as the star variety of the Penedès wine region, and we are pushing extremely hard for organics. Organics, why? Because in 2025, the DO, the designation of origin, want to be 100% organic, which is going to be one of the first, or even the first, wine region that will be that stipulated it has to be 100% organic. Maybe there are smaller regions that are 100% organic, but when you have 150 wineries, 2,100 wine growers with 2,500 hectares, that is not an easy job. And on that scale, I think it is a challenge and a half to try and do. They also want to be the first designation of origin to accompany and create a new designation, which is the Classic Penedès designation, and make it into the first designation, the first sparkling wine designation that is 100% organic. So I hope that was clear, concise. If you have any questions, you can ask me. I will try to my utmost to answer them. And if not, I'll pass you over to the wine growers and the winemakers that have some fantastic wines for you to taste.
Thank you, Andrew. Sorry, actually, there is a question in chat. If you can see it.
I cannot, but I
Corpinat.
will. I
Yeah.
will. Just 1 second. I will. You can probably see on my. I will take off my.
Yeah.
Just a sec.
I can read it.
Right.
Okay. It's about
Okay.
Corpinat, right?
Yes. We know, as I said before, yeah, there is a little bit of a misconception when it comes to the region. We know that there are designations of origin that overlap one another, Del Catalunya, Del Penedès, Del Cava, and also there's a wine, the new wine brand that also has come about, which is Corpinat. All these movements work for one simple factor, and I'll go back to what I said before. The region is extremely important to all of them, but they are extremely innovative. People here love to ask questions, love to be different, love to do things to try and shake things up. It's not a bad thing to have lots of different brands. And you've said that Corpinat is getting more popular. Yes, good. Because if they're getting popular, it means that Penedès wine region is also getting popular. And if the Penedès wine region is getting popular, then Del Penedès is getting popular. So we've got to try and look at it from above. Not easy to describe, not easy to talk about. But if you ever came to the wine region, you'll find Corpinat makers that actually do make Del Penedès wines, because it can be done within the rules and regulations. So changes are brilliant. Changes are good. Changes are not a problem. So are they an elite group? Yes, but so are the Del Penedès. Del Penedès have, as I said, that elite group that people see from on other markets. They're making Del Penedès wines. So it's also an elite group.
Right.
I hope I answered your question.
And another one.
Right, what are the main challenges in switching to organic wine growing? Organic wine growing in the area is based on a certification which is what we call CETEPAE. CETEPAE is a Catalan organization that gives you it stipulates and it gives you the possibility of having the seal, which is CCPAE. You'll probably see it on some of the bottles if you're tasting with the bottles in front of you, which I think you are. Obviously, we have in the area, in the Penedès, the greater Penedès wine region, and this is why people don't really understand DO or designation of Penedès, because we have around us 26,000 hectares of vineyard. And we've said that DO Penedès is 2,500 hectares of vineyard. So DO Penedès is a niche market designation of origin. It's smaller, yeah? So therefore, when we have these 26,000 hectares and we want 2,500 hectares to be organic, of course it's a challenge. Why? Because you've got people next to you that are not organic and they're going to spray with herbicides, pesticides, etc., etc. So what that is going to do is there's got to be distances, because if not, the CETEPAE, the certification will come in and they will nullify that plot can be organic, because even particles from herbicides, pesticides come over with the wind and obviously go onto the grapes and obviously onto the plants. So therefore, it's a challenge, definitely. But we love challenges.
Right.
Any more questions?
No more questions by now. I think we can. Thank you very much, Andrew. Thank you. Stay with us.
Thank you.
It was really interesting. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we start the tasting, and we start with Nadal and Carles del Amor. So we never had a guy named del Amor here. So, Carles, hello. Good afternoon.
Hello. Can you
Hello.
hear me properly?
We can hear you and we can see you. Great.
So yeah. Well, thanks for the meeting. As I explained to Peter, today for me it's a very happy day because just I'm in the hospital actually. Yesterday my wife gave birth, so I'm gonna try to be fast to go back to the room. So basically, let me explain a little bit about Nadal. Nadal, it's a winery that it's what you would imagine what a winery should be. You should imagine a country house surrounded by 100 hectares of vineyard and winery there, the same place, all one single estate, everything compact in one single zone. The Nadal family has been running this estate that we know at least since 1510, so about 500 years. And but the history starts then, but our brand starts in 1943 when the company started making sparklings. Our main product it's sparkling wines. We are one of the Corpinat wineries. We do Corpinat and Dio Penedès. As you can see in the picture here, this is us. So one single estate, and our values are very clear. That's what we like to show. It's everything is completely organic. All the grapes are handpicked. Everything is done in the premises, so we don't buy any grape. We only work with our own grapes. We don't buy bottles from others. We don't buy wine, grape juice, nothing. Only we bring it only in our grapes, and everything has to be clear and easy. So, for instance, when we are talking about quality, we work in a very high scale of quality. That means that, for instance, when the grapes that we're going to use for a product, they don't reach excellence, we just don't harvest that vineyards, and we don't produce. We skip a year for that product. Um, that is so that, for instance, in 2020, we it was a bad year for the region, especially for organic producers because of the mildew disease together with COVID and so on. So we just didn't harvest. We skipped the whole 2020 in all the winery. So the wine that we are presenting today, it's Xarel·lo. This is our we could say our pure Xarel·lo. We have the previous vintage was 2019. As I said, we skipped to 2021. The one you're tasting now, it has the labeling of samples because we will bring it to the market in 1 week, 2 weeks. It's always we always bring it a little bit later than what it's usual for white wines. That is because we do batonnage during winter, as Andrew explained. There's many wineries that like to do batonnage. It's a movement that it's growing, but in our case, we don't use any barrel. So once we harvest, we transform it into wine first, pressing and so on. And once we have the wine in the vats, in the stainless steel vats, we do batonnage during some weeks, and then afterwards we bottle it. So it has always at least 6 months of bottle aging, never barrel aging. With that, what we want is to give the pure Xarel·lo taste, to be more about the terroir. So every vintage will have its own differences from how it rained, how stressed was the vineyard, all of that we want it to be represented, but also we want a big body, big structure in mouth. As Andrew pointed out, Xarel·los are supposed to be very gastronomic wines. They are the kind of wine that usually you need food to pair with, and then you enjoy it very much. This is a very dry Xarel·lo. We are talking about 12 alcohol degrees, and it's acidic. It's very clean, very direct wine. fennel notes, greener notes. It will have a great evolution in bottle. We don't sell it as a young wine, so we like to keep it slow. We want it to develop in bottle for the next 2, 3, 4 years. There's no problem with that. And even if it's longer than that, it's just gonna be rounding and maybe reducting a little bit, but it's not supposed to be a problem. And I don't know if there's doubts about the wine. I guess you are already with the tasting. So let me check the chat.
Thank you, Carlos. Tell me, do you have an importer in Poland?
Oh yeah. Poland, it's a tricky market, as you probably know. In Poland, we have had some. We tried a couple of adventures, but we didn't have. We currently don't have an importer. And you also wanted to know the production, I think, if not a mistake. The production, it's about 22,000 bottles, more or less, for this vintage.
Right. And if I come to the winery as a private person, how much would it be?
About 940, more or less, between 9-10 euro in Spain.
940 euro. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And currently no importer in Poland.
No.
Okay. Thank you, Roger. The name is very famous, Nadal, and commercially it's a perfect one. Actually, in the morning when you missed the tryout, I was sure you're still in Paris.
Yeah. No, I'm. They say in Spain that this kind of birth brings the kids from Paris. So it's in a way I was. But Nadal is a very simple name to remember, and once you taste it, it's easy to remember that you tasted Nadal.
Great. Thank you. Any comments, guys? How do you like it? And well, congrats, Carlos.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. And now, if anything comes in chat, let's see. Now let's pass to Miquel Pons. Miquel, hello, Miquel. Hi. Yes. Microphone. And no. Still no. So go out and come back if it doesn't work. Right? If the microphone...
No, it's okay. Now it's working.
Now it's fine.
Yes,
so
everything
the floor
fine.
Is yours. Go on. Hello.
Hi, everybody. It's a pleasure to be here in this webinar, and I will talk about my family winery. I'm Miquel. I'm from Cabas Miquel Pons. I'm part of the sixth generation of wine growers from my family. My family, you can see here in the picture, is the people who belong to nowadays in the winery. My grandfather, my cousin, my father, and my uncle. So my family arrived at Penedès at 1805, and since then they have been dedicated into the wine growing. So all the family has been linked into the lands and love the wine growing. And in 1992, they decided to put in value all that effort of all that years, and they built and they start the winery. So nowadays, my family manage 80 hectares in all organic farming. We started the project of organic 10 years ago, and we are one of the few wineries in the area and probably in the world, that we work with ozone in the fields. Our commitment is to make as much sustainable and less intervention wine growing as we can. So here you can see the first estate is Molí de Vent. This is one of the most representative estates. And this one is very important. I want to put the picture because it's the Calascud estate is where we grow, where we have the old vines from Xarel·lo that makes these 77 baremas that today I will present to you. all the products that we make is single estate products, and this is the winery. This winery was built in 2008. So my family start downstairs of my grandparents' my father's house, and they grow up smaller, and in 2008 we can start with this new winery, prepared for everything. So this is the place. Miquel Pons makes cava and makes the Penedès appellation products. Our commitment is to make great products with meat and long agings, all with our grapes, and looking for a high quality in low intervention style, low in sulfites. The idea is to bring into the market the typicity and terroir from our landscape. We don't have one single state, because my family has a very small vineyards, but after the years, with the necessities and the capacity, and the winery was growing, we have the chance to buy small pieces of land, and nowadays we manage around 10 different estates. So give us the chance to obtain the best from every place, because as Andrew told at the beginning, Penedès is not a flat area. Penedès is very rich in soils, in microclimates, and that's why we try to get the best from every soil, from every part, to elaborate the best quality and wines and cavas. So this is our tasting room. And I'm going to introduce this is Xarel·lo, this is the dog of the family. You know that Xarel·lo is the main grape from our area, is our star. So my family decided to put the dog the name of our well-known grape in our area. And I'm going to introduce the 77 Baremas. 77 tells a history of my grandfather. You know that in Penedès, in Spain, there was a civil war between 1936 to 1939. My grandfather was born in 1930. So when he was a child, there's a lot of pureness. We have a lot of problems, and my big grandfather told him that he was to go very, very soon, and with only 9 years old, to the fields. So 77 Baremas, it means in Catalan harvests. So what we decide when we start with this project of the Xarel·lo from all vines is to, when my grandfather makes 77 harvests, create this delicate wine from all vines from Xarel·lo. The vines from this to elaborate this wine is all vines of 70 years old, picked by hand. And the idea here is to show the typicity and authenticity from the Xarel·lo. No, first we do a first part of the fermentation is in a stainless steel, and when we have less than, when we increase the points of the fermentation is decreasing 30 points, we move into French oak barrels of 500 liters, and there end the fermentation with cold, and after that we do a batonnage. It depends of the year, because every year is different. We don't have any irrigation system. What we obtain is what nature brings us, and after that normally we do a batonnage around 2 or 3 months. So the idea here is to avoid the over oak sensation and to show the potential of the Xarel·lo. No, the Xarel·lo is a variety that you can taste today a lot. No, but you can. What I like of this smell in the nose is it brings a little bit into the sea. This white fruit, apricot is delicate. The batonnage brings this creaminess and capacity of aging. Is a wine thinked to keep into the bottle. Minimum, you can keep this wine 4 years with no problem. And it's a wine that it works really well with different kind of food. It's fresh, it's long. And we are really happy because 3 weeks ago, we obtained the gold medal from the appellation de Penedès. We obtained the recognition of the best Xarel·lo of the appellation of this year.
Okay. Could you tell me the total production? How many bottles?
Yes, the total production of this wine is around 7,000 bottles. It's a single, it's a very handcrafted product looking for quality.
And the price, retail price in Spain?
Yeah, it's around 12 euros.
12 euros.
It's 100 organic, it's organic wine also.
Right.
And well, here in Poland, we have a small importer. Look, it's called Vinoko. It's located in Gdansk, but he only covers a very small area, and we are open to find a new partners in Poland, and we'll be really happy if we find someone else.
Okay, Vinoko, right?
Vinoko, yes.
Okay, yeah. Great. Thank you.
So thank you. It's a pleasure, and I hope that you enjoy this evening and learn about the great wines that we make in Penedès.
Yeah, great. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Bye.
And now, guys, it's Xavier and Leopard. And stay with us, Mikel, please, if any questions come in chat. Hopefully they will. Yeah. Xavier Simal. Oh. We observe the attempts. Hello, Xavier. Right? So, how do you like those two wines? Say something in chat, please. Hi, Xavier. Hello. Can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes. Okay. Go on, please.
Fantastic. Good afternoon, guys. I'm Javier from Leopard. I'm representing the family, and Leopard is the surname of the family. And Leopard has been around for many, many years. They heritage their estate in 1385, so in the 40th century. So it's the 26th generation of the family looking after that beautiful estate. And we started producing wines in 1887, mainly sparkling wines. Just as Nadal, we are one of the co-founders of the brand Corpinat, and we are mainly producing sparkling wines, but we do also produce some still wines under the DO Penedès. The family owns 500 hectares, from which 400 are forest, Mediterranean forest, and then we have 100 hectares hidden in this forest of organic vineyards. We've been organic since 2000, so we've been using these organic methods for over 20 years now. And if you break down these 100 hectares of vineyards, we have like 180 plots. Why I say that is because we like to do a lot of micro vinifications. This is the latest project of the family to to get this nice palette of Xarel·los, Macabeos, and Parelladas. As I said, mainly for our sparkling wines, but the wine that we are going to present is the Clos de Fossils. Clos de Fossils takes the name of one of these 180 micro parcels that is Clos de Fossils that we have found related to the 7 million years ago, because the whole Penedès, as Andrew said, it was a sea. And then in our property, we have found a lot of fossils. And this specific vineyard that we produce the Clos de Fossils with takes the name because of that. Very low production levels. We are like on average 4,500 kilos per hectare of grapes. We only use the free run juice, the first press, actually 50% of that first press, looking for freshness and clean aromas. And this Clos de Fossils is made with 100% Xarel·lo. About Llopart location is, I mean, if you break down the Penedès, I just like to say that there are like two main areas, the Baix Penedès or Low Penedès and the Alt Penedès or the High Penedès. We are located north in the High Penedès. On average, we are like 350 meters above the sea level, and we are not far from the Mediterranean Sea. Also, you know, from south east, like 40 kilometers away. So it's that location, and also the terroir is made half. Part of it is clay, but is more calcareous. Underneath, we sit upon a huge calcareous rock that gives us this nice minerality in our wines. So I like to think that each winery has its own personality or tries to find its own DNA. The fact that we are high and we go with low intervention is the wines are going to be nice in acidity, fresh, clean. We use a little bit of oak, French oak in this wine. 30% of that Clos de Fossils, of that Xarel·lo, goes into French barrels, and then 70% stays in a stainless tank. We use the batonnage as well for 3 months, and the one that we are presenting is 2021. We do have an importer. We were lucky to secure an importer like 5 years ago. He comes from Warsaw. His name is Wojciech Lutomski, and he's been supporting Llopart, not just the sparkling wines, but also the still wines for all these years. We are extremely happy, especially because I've been a couple of times in Warsaw and Krakow, and you know, there are very professionals, specifically in the on-trade business. These families, Llopart, and I guess that the rest of the producers, we are very much focused on the on-trade business because there is not a lot of production coming from this family business. We are currently making every year around 12,000 bottles of these Clos de Fossils. Actually, the wines, the still wines in Llopart represents only 10% of the total production. 90% of the production goes into the sparkling wines, and 10% goes into the still wines. So you can find this price. I'm taking advantage of that period, around 11 retail price in our local market. And I have that at home, and I always like to keep that for a few years because it has that potential of aging very well. And you know, as my colleagues were saying, Xarel·lo has a good potential for aging and very versatile for food, especially, you know, the Mediterranean kind of food that we like to eat comes from you know, seafood and nice fishes as well.
Thank you. So just one correction, Wojciech Lutomski is definitely from Krakow. I know it. It's not from Warsaw, the importer. Hello? You're frozen. And the total production is How much?
Yeah, 12,000 bottles of this
12,000.
product. Mhm.
Okay, very elegant, very very discreet but elegant wine. I try to
Thank you. This is, as I said, trying to find the DNA of your bar. You're always going to find this kind of elegance and almost shy products. We are not like the Americans say, in your face with your products, with our products. We are more in that shiny side. We like to produce wine to be drinkable and to enjoy not just a glass but also the full bottle.
Oh, really good, really good. Somebody is writing something, but it takes yes, surprisingly low acidity as to compare with the acid level 5.7.
Yeah, probably it's down to this batonnage that almost hide the acidity. As I said, the wines are very elegant, and the work with the batonnage, takes away that acidity that otherwise should be in too much when it's not it's not this job done with the barrel.
It's really something is happened.
Also, the 70% that still is kept in the stainless steel tanks is also kept some time with the lees as well, in contact with the yeast.
Yeah. Okay, great. Wine Trip is writing something. What's the best food pairing for this wine?
What's the best food pairing for this wine? I can give you my personal approach. I like the fish made in the oven, but with the Donosti style, which is from the north of Spain, the San Sebastian, that is with vinagreta, with vinegar and some garlic. I love this fish. I don't live in the Penedès region. I mean, in the heart of Penedès. I live in the coast, so I have the fishmonger very nearby, and I like to go on Saturdays to buy this fresh fish, and then open that up, and then add the olive oil with the vinaigre, and then the garlic, and then have the clos de fossils. I'm now currently drinking 2019 because I like to keep the clos de fossil for longer.
Great. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Delicious and thanks. Yes. Great. So thank you very much, Javier, and not Xavier, right? Javier. Thank you very much. And now, First Lady tonight, Gina, and another Charlio. Nothing wrong. Yes. Hi, Gina. Can't hear you. I can see you. I cannot hear you. Yes.
No.
Bene. Yes.
This is Gina, and he is Joan Segura. He is the owner and winemaker and viticultor and a lot of things.
Okay, so the floor is yours, right?
Yeah,
Go on,
yeah. So, ¿ya está?
Sí, ya está. Enjoy the wine.
So, well, just to introduce a bit the cellar and the history, of it. Joan actually started, the family started, or they are viticultors since the 1902, sorry. And the first wine was produced in 1981. So as viticultors, they have a long history, and as a winemaker as well, but yeah, since 1982. In Joan Segura, we have different vineyards around Penedès, as some of my colleagues say. So the wine that we are tasting today is from the medium Penedès, around 300 meters over the sea level. But there are other wines and sparklings produced as well between the grapes that we obtain between the medium Penedès and the high one that can reach around 700 meters over the sea level. This is the medium Penedès, the picture. Okay. And the product that you are tasting today is called Laia. Laia is the girl that you see in the picture, and is getting the grapes of Xarel·lo, the grapes that you are tasting as well in the wine. And Laia is the daughter of Joan. So yeah, we thought that it was nice that you meet in some ways her. Next. And yeah, the cellar, actually, we started with wine tourism just this last year, because as well, you can see here the house of the family, the house of Joan, and during the COVID time, everything was stopped, as you know. So they take this time to renew a bit the cellar and to start with the visit. So this is part of the lagares, cubos, so the place where the wine used to be made, that it has been converted to age the bottles of sparkling and wine bottles as well. You will see another picture of the entrance. Yeah, we hope that in some days you can come and visit as well the cellar. And this is the area of wine tasting. So yeah, the wine that you have is what you can see in the picture, and here is called Laia. It's the girl that you saw in that picture. It's produced, is Xarel·lo 100%, and the half of it, well, everything is harvested by hand, and the half of it is fermented in inox, and the other half is fermented in oak barrels of 300 liters. After the fermentation of the oak barrel, the wine stays there for around 3 months, and the batonnage is done inside the barrel. After these 2.5, 3 months, okay, that depends on the year. It's always tasting and let's see what happens. But after these 2-3 years, we get the 50% that has passed inside the barrel, and it is put inside the inox. So over there, the batonnage continues around 35 days. After that, it is bottled, and we always keep the bottle in the cellar around 6 months before selling. Okay, but the production is really low. Well, you have the wine of 2020. Nowadays, we are already selling 2021. And for the tasting, yeah, I would like to see you, because it's much better to know what you are doing. But well. As a color is 2020, and it has half of the wine in barrels, so obviously it starts to be quite gold. You can see as well the legs of the tears that are quite going quite slow, okay, going down quite slow. It's not that it has so much degree of alcohol, it's around 12 degrees of alcohol. However, with the batonnage, what we want to do is to give much more value, no? And this is translated as well in the leg of the wine. I always like to say that when you are tasting a wine and you are looking to it, it's already talking to you. So with the golden color and with the thicker leg, is already telling us that it can have much more value, and this aroma and taste much more complex. As you can see as well, it's not a wine that is really like transparent. No, it has some particles in suspensions. It's because we don't like to do so much interventions. So in that way, we can have a bit much more of body. So that's the reason. Okay, if you have noticed that on the nose. I suppose that you are smelling. It's a wine that obviously, because of the aging, it has that evolution. We can feel on the nose the barrel, okay, but mainly a bit of the pear, like a pear in the oven, or apple in the oven. How long in the barrel? It's around 2.5 months. Okay, it's depending on the year, but it's 2.5 months. And yeah, the nose, it's mainly pear like on the oven, and then we start to feel this oaky, this like burnt sugar, okay, a bit of the honey, a bit of the anise and fennel that it's quite common in Xarel·lo, as Andrew was saying as well. So in the mouth, cheers. Well, in my opinion, we can feel actually what we have look and what we have smell. So you feel the volume, you feel the acidity as Xarel·lo it has. You have to take into account that I didn't say that the vineyard, I think so, the vine, it was planted in 1962. So it's a vine that has quite low production. And this, it can be translated as well with much more volume, acidity that is, for me, is quite balanced. And we start to feel as well this a bit of oaky, but a bit of this burnt sugar, a bit of this pear, no, on the oven, and much more these tertiary aromas. So, well, I hope that you have enjoyed the wine. I just would like to finish reading a sentence, okay, translating a sentence that is in the bottle. It says, cada vespre obre la finestra i respira profundament per omplir-se d'aquesta vida. It says, every evening, open your window and breathe deeply in order to feel with this wine alive. So, enjoy.
Thank you, Gina. Thank you very much. Tell me, distributor in Poland?
We don't have it yet.
You don't have. And total production? How many bottles?
In the year that you have, that is 2020, it was around 1,400 bottles, and 2021 was around 2,000 bottles.
Okay. And the price?
The price in here is 11 euros.
11 euros. Okay. Good. Well, thank you. Thank you very much. It was really great, and I like both the wine and your presentation. So.
Thank you.
Very well done. Thank you. How long in the barrel? Yeah, this question you already answered to. Right. Great. Thank you.
Sorry. Thank you.
No. Thank you. Stay with us if there's any questions coming in chat. And now, yeah, another man.
Perfect.
Another man, Andres. Thank you, Gina. Thank you. Andres and Fondjui. Yes, the wine. Finca Mas Escorpi. Hi, Andres. Microphone. I can't hear you.
Let me try.
Now it works. Right. So, okay. Floor is yours. Go on.
Hello. Thank you, Fjord, for organizing it. So, hello, everyone. Good afternoon. My name is Andres. I'm an expert for Gramona, and I would like to introduce you a little bit about what is Finca Mas Escorpi and what is Gramona. So, Finca Mas Escorpi is the project of Jaume and Xavier Gramona, who are the fifth generation of the family Gramona sparkling wine producers in the Penedès for more than 100 years now. So this year, 2021, we are celebrating our centenary. So here in the picture, you can see is a picture of Xavier and Jaume together with the sixth generation of Gramona, Leo and Roc. So we are located in the heart of the Penedès, in the capital of the sparkling wine production area in Catalonia, that is the city of Sant Sadurní d'Anoia. So we do still wines under the Penedès denominación de origen and sparkling wines under the Corpinat. So in this project, in the Finca Mas Escorpi, what we do is we grow and we produce wines made with the local grape varieties like the Macabeo or the Xarel·lo, and also a range of wines with international grape varieties like the Chardonnay, like the Sauvignon Blanc, like the Pinot Noir, in as you know, in a more Mediterranean climate. Here you can see some pictures of our state. We are fully self-sufficient in terms of renewable energies. We do work with geothermal energy. We do work with solar panels. Almost 90% of our energy that we need in the winery is coming from renewable energies. And at the same time, in terms of viticulture, we are 100% organic, and we are biodynamic now for more than 10 years that we are working biodynamics. So we do have our own farm. We do have a forest that help us to create our own ecosystem, and later on to produce our preparations that we are going to use in the vineyard, and we are going to apply following all the rules of biodynamics. So the state of Fonduit is a state that we work following the organics and the biodynamics. We plow by hose, as we've seen in the picture, and we source the grapes for the production of our premium sparkling wine cuvées like Tres Lustros, Sellevadia, and Enoteca. So there are 2 hectares of vineyard planted in 2007 that we hand harvest, and later on we pass through a table selection. We select the grapes on the table selection. Then the whole bunches will go to the press coquard. It's the press that we are using for production of sparkling wines and for our still wines, and it helps us to classify the most. In that case, for our still wines, we use our free ranges. Then, after a spontaneous fermentation in 300 liters barrels of French oak, we age the wine on the same barrels for around 3 months. Together with the list, we do batonnage, and we age the wine for 3 months. And we use around 30% of new oak, and the rest is used oak. And then after 3 months, there is a period of time aging the wine in the bottle. So I think you are gonna try now the wine. Fonduit. I choose the Fonduit because I think Xarel·lo is our most representative grape variety. Is the grape variety that is the large part in our cuvées, as a blend of our cuvées, as Tres Lustros, Sellevadia, and our other cuvées that we do, like Imperial, is the larger part of the cuvée. Xarel·lo is a very representative for Gramona and for the Penedès. It's as a local grape variety, has a very rustic characteristic, but has a very good. It aged very well, so it expresses very well when aging. We work a little bit with this list, this batonnage, and this aging time later on the bottle will express very well. So here we have a wine that is expressive, is rich, and has this Mediterranean herbs touch, like apricots, then appears, lemon peel, and later on coming with these notes of the lees aging. So a pairing that I will suggest with Fonduit, I will go for something like baked fish, codfish maybe, or something like cheese. Mature cheese, I will go for mature cheese, kind of manchego, or maybe something Basque like the Idiazabal, or if you're thinking something more from the coast like rice, will be a very good pairing also. So in terms of production, we talk about 5,000 bottles. The only thing is that, as I mentioned, I wanted to present the Fonduit because I think it's very representative for us, because it's also the name of our single state of Fonduit. But unfortunately, for this vintage 2019, we finished the stock and we will not produce 2020 because the conditions that we had. So the next vintage that we will release to the market will be the Fonduit 2021, and it will be released in spring. So we have to wait for spring, next spring, 2023.
Okay. Yeah. And the price, retail price in Spain?
So retail price will be around 14 euros.
14 euros, right.
Yeah.
And no importer in Poland.
So right now we are going to start working for our sparkling wines with Mielczynski for our sparkling wine range, but we don't have right now an importer for Fonduit for our still wine range.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Andres. Andres, any questions in chat? Let me check. No, still. How long is it in barrel? No.
So this is 3 months.
Is the previous one, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Stay with us, please. And if any questions come, just reply to it. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Phil.
Thank you. Laura, hello.
Hi, hello, Peter.
Hello. Yeah. So let's start with cellar Credo, right?
Yes, that's right. Let's go.
Floor is yours. Go on.
Perfect, thank you. Hi, everyone. So my name is Laura, and I will talk to you today about the project of Cellar Credo. Cellar Credo is a project from the Recaredo family. Recaredo has been making sparkling wine in the Penedès for the last 100 years. We started in 1924. And for the last 10 years, we created a project of still white wine called Cellar Credo. Credo being the nickname of Recaredo in our region. Both projects are made in the same winery and are made by the same family. Nowadays, the third generation in charge at the winery. The Cellar Credo project focuses on indigenous grape variety. So we don't have Chardonnay or Pinot Noir. We just work with Xarel·lo, Parellada Macabeo, and Malvasia de Sitges. We mainly work with Xarel·lo, which represents 60% of our plantation. And the reason being that we think is a great variety that represents well our landscape, our terroir. It's also a great variety that has high level of acidity and high level of antioxidants, so that will help to make wine that can age in time. And finally, it's a great variety that suits well the terroir and the lack of water we have in our region. We started the project of Cellar Credo, so as I say, in 2012, and we started with our own grape varieties. So in Recaredo, everything we do, we work by dynamic farming, and we are certified since 2010. If you can just come back to the picture before, please. Thank you. And so in 2015 and 2016, we had really warm vintage, and we decided to create partnership with other vine growers from the region in order to supply grapes. So for the Cellar Credo, we do buy some grapes. We work with vine growers that are organic, and we do ourselves the biodynamic preparation in order to make sure that the quality reach our standards. I wanted just to show you this picture here, because one thing which is important for us is that all the Xarel·lo we planted now, or all the vineyards that we're recovering or we decide to take on, we will work with Xarel·lo planted in bush vines, as you can see on the picture. So we stopped using the guillot system, as everything we do, we harvest by hand. We think that this plantation in bush vines will be the best way to get the best quality. So for us, we're really looking to get the best quality of the grape. So in Recaredo, we can move on to the next picture. In Recaredo, we harvest everything by hand, and that will be really the key point where we can already do a first quality check and ensure that the quality of the grape we're getting in the winery are at the state we want. In terms of aloe, so the wine you're going to taste today, The name is coming from the medieval times. So aloers was the farmers that were free to grow whatever they wanted on their land, and they didn't have to pay anything back to the king. So for us in this in the Seia Credo, we really feel like in line with this name, in the sense that we really can create and innovate in terms of production and in terms of what we create. So we use amphora, we do skin maceration. If we use barrel, it will be old barrel, no new oak. We don't want it to give the taste of the oak. We just want to express the fruit and express the terroir. And we keep experiencing with a lot of micro-vinification in order to experiment and learn about the Charelot grape variety. Aloes is coming from a single vineyard planted in 1970 on limestone soil in the Alpes Penedès. So it's vines that are around 50 years old. We harvest by hand, obviously, and we will macerate the grape with the stem for around 4 hours before pressing the juice. The fermentation will happen with our own yeast in stainless steel tank, and we will and this will last around 15 to 20 days. We don't control the malolactic fermentation, so we will let the wine do the malolactic fermentation whenever it wants. And the only thing we will add is some sulfur at the bottling of the wine. On the aloes wine, we will also do a lees stirring around a month, roughly, just to get a bit more creaminess in the wine. And to give you some figures, we are around 40 milligrams per liter of total sulfur in the wine, and it's a completely dry wine with less than a gram of sugar. In terms of production, this vintage 2019, we managed to produce 14,000 bottles, which was a good vintage. And I just want to put it in perspective with 2020, which was a vintage of mildew, and we lost more than 60% of the crop. And we only managed to make 4,000 bottles of this wine. So again, the production will really depend, as it's a single vineyard, the production will really depend on what nature can give us of this parcel. The price is around 15 euro in Spain, in our local market, retail price. And as you can see, we try to express a wine with a great freshness, a great acidity. As I say, Charelot can age, so that's vintage 2019, which has a super potential for aging still. And we're trying to get wines with a lot of aging and release them on the market with good aging to show what is Charelot with aging and to show the potential of this wine. And this
Okay. Thank you, Laura.
Yeah.
So this is 15 euro retail price, and the total production it's from 4 to 14,000, right?
14,000 of this vintage, yeah, and 4,000 for the next vintage. So
right.
Really depends.
And regarding the Polish market, do you have?
So we're working with El Catador in
El Catador.
Barcelona that will have the wine in stock.
Ah, great. Yeah. Great. Thank you. Any comments? Any comments, guys? Oh, they're very shy today. No, somebody's writing something. Let's see. Okay.
I will leave my email address anyway in the chat if anyone has a question or is coming to Spain and to Catalonia and want to come to visit.
Does the name mean something?
Yeah, so aloes is the name that were given in the medieval time to farmers that were free to grow what they wanted on their land without having to pay anything back to the king. So they were free farmer, free to grow and free to enjoy their crop. And so we relate this project to our philosophy of growing wines that we like, of making wine in the way that we want without being free, basically, to make whatever we want and explore.
And you don't have to pay to the king. Okay, thank you, Laura. Thank you. Stay in contact. And now, guys, wine number 7, and this is David. And David Navarro. Yes. Hi, David.
Hello.
Hello. So This is your time. Go on,
Thank you
please.
so much. Hello, this is David Navarro from Aymar Wines. I would like to introduce you this winery. Here is Nuria. Nuria is one of the current generation that I'm going to explain you now. The family was born to give value to our land, the Penedès. We love Penedès. We have been wine growers for several generations. Aymar actually is the family's name, surname. And now the current generation, like Nuria, decided to start a new project to develop our own wines and our own sparkling wines. We are located at Castellví de la Marca, that is at the Upper Penedès, and we have 60 hectares. All the 60 hectares of owned vineyards with indigenous varieties. All of them are worked in an organic and sustainable way. And our goal is to produce wines respecting the environment and, of course, healthy and good quality and very nice to drink and to enjoy. Regarding the sparkling wines, we are classic Penedès that Andrew explained at the beginning. All our products are vinified and using the grapes of Penedès. All our sparkling wines are produced following the Champenoise method with the second fermentation inside the bottle. All are quality Reserva, so at least 24 months aged. All are organic and all are made by our own grapes. As a remarkable fact, all the bottles have the date of disgorging. We do this process under request when something make an order. So we want that our clients receive the product fresh, even that it stays for a long time on its lease and in aging. A part of the sparkling wines, we also produce some still wines, monovarietals of Xarel·lo and red Xarel·lo. That the red Xarel·lo is a variety that we recovered last year in one of our vineyards. Talking about the Brut Nature, that is the wine, the sparkling wine we are going to talk now, is this one. This is the rancho. In the previous picture, this is the ranch of the sparkling wines. We have the ice is the Brut Nature with some vermouth. Then you have the Brut Nature, the Rosé, and the Reserva Única is a wine made for sparkling wine made 100% Xarel·lo from a centenarial vineyard. Please, we can go on. Okay, and then from Aymar Brut Nature is our flagship, our star product. This is sparkling wine with more than 30 months aging, and we don't use any expedition liquor, and that means that zero sugar. What we do is when we remove the lees, we fill this small part. We fill with another. We call a twin bottle. We use the same Brut Nature to fill the rest of the bottle. Then we keep the quality enough high to maintain it. Another particularity is that we always use the same coupage: 50% Xarel·lo, 25% Macabeu, and 25% Parellada. This makes a different product every year and in each vintage, and we like that because then you can see the difference from one year to another one, maintaining a nice quality, but different products. I don't know if you are already tasting them. If so, you can identify that at the glass, you can see that the bubble is very fine, and in mouth there are toasted notes that appear after because after more than 2 years with the yeast being there, it gives this toast on the mouth. Today we are very happy because we have just received good news from the Decanter Awards. So we got a silver medal. The previous one that you see here was a bronze medal from a previous year, but this year we got a silver medal and 90 points from the Decanter. So we are very proud of this and very happy. Our production of this product is around 30,000 bottles, and the retail price is around 12 euros. And well, Peter, I'm sure that you are going to ask me that. We are not in Poland yet.
Not in Poland.
Okay. Nobody in Poland yet.
Yeah, but actually there are some questions in chat. Why there's no name Cava? So
because classic Penedès is something like Corpinat were explaining, and Andrew was explaining before that Corpinat separates from the Dio Cava in a way, and classic Penedès also separate the sparkling wines from the Dio Cava. Is Dio Penedès is inside the Dio Penedès, but is not in the Dio Cava.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, great. Okay, so 30,000 bottles, 12 euro retail price, no importer.
No in Poland yet.
Okay, yet.
Yeah, yet.
Yeah, great. Thank you. Thank you
so much. And thank you so much for the opportunity to introduce our winery in Poland.
My pleasure. Our pleasure. Thank you. And now, guys, Marcelo and Finca Villa del Llops. Marcelo? Hello? Marcelo? Oh, we lost Marcelo, perhaps. Is he coming? Yes. Hello. Hi.
Hello. How are you? So first of all, I wanna sorry because I have to travel and right now I am in the car. So let's see what's happened. I will answer all your questions and I will try to get the tasting as better as possible. Hello?
Yes, we can hear you and we can see you, Marcelo. Go on, please.
Okay, so Finca Villa de Llops is a winery that's about, we are about 7 kilometers inland, about 350 meters below the sea level, and the soil extremely calcare. Did you hear me?
We do.
Better.
No worries. No worries.
Did you hear me? Yeah. Okay. So we are focused only in native varieties as Grenache for red and Charelo for whites. And today we present here for you. We present the Turo de las Abellas. It's a wine premium wine that we make in the winery, and it's a single vineyard, only Grenache. So the soil extremely calcare. They apport the pH. They apport a very high pH. So that means that apport freshness to the wine. So as I told you, we are in front of the sea, 7 kilometers. So we have this kind of breeze that came from the sea, and this apport freshness to our wines and saltness, minerality. So you will taste Grenache. That you know that the Grenache in the Mediterranean they have degree alcoholic, but with freshness. I try to improve my wines with freshness, but we only make 12 months of aging in barrique because I prefer to be as much as possible to aging inside of the bottle. So Villa de Llops, in this case, this bottle of this premium, this Turo de las Abellas, we only produce 2,500 bottles of this wine because it's a single vineyard, and well, the rest of the property they produce other premium wines. We don't work in Poland today. but I hope that we will find somebody to trust our wines and our project.
Okay, and some comments to the wine, the taste and flavors.
Yeah, you can
And
you can feel
the retail price. Sorry, the
retail price. It's about 25 euros.
25 euro. Okay, and 2,500 bottles only.
Yeah, in this case, because it's a single vineyard. So we have another wines, and we have most of the wine. We have premium wines, but also we have the how to say, the entry level wines that we produce other quantity of wines, but always in a limited production because it's a family, and as you told in France, domain, or you told in Italy, tenuta. We call finca, that always our vineyard, we selected our vineyard to our cellar.
Okay. Well, there's a comment. Very nice wine. Lots of tannins and great leather in the nose. Leather notes.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
but I try always in the vinification. I try we work only we harvest by hand in little boxes, and we make only PHS with this wine in an open barricks. So we keep it 12 months aging in barricks, but we try always to get the primary aromas inside of the bottle. Don't get too long aging. Because I prefer to get much more flavor inside of the bottle. This kind of cherries and this kind of red berries inside of the bottle.
Okay. And tell me, food pairings. What would you suggest?
Well, food pairing you can match with this kind of red meats and I'll go with sausage. Dishes with sauce. And well, strong dishes. I think that is a Mediterranean style. It's a wine that they have freshness as well. They have nice tannins, but very soft tannins at the same time. So you can enjoy. I try to make wines that at the end you can empty the bottle. So my wines is just to open the bottle and finish the bottle with two persons. This is my key point when I make wines, because it's the wine that I like it when I go to restaurants.
Okay, I like this philosophy, so I'm with you. I like the style of your wine. Thank you very much,
Okay.
Marcelo.
Thank you very much.
And
Thank you very much.
Drive
Trust me,
safely.
I am in the petrol station, so I hope that you listen as well as possible.
No, we listen very well. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Bye bye.
Thank you. Very authentic. Yes. Very well. Thank you.
Thank you.
And now, guys, Valformosa and Arcadi. Hi. Hello.
Yeah. Hi. Nice to meet you. Thank you for the time. I just going to introduce my company, and Valformosa is well recognized as a cover producer. First of all, we are one of the great cover producer, but at the same time, producer from Comtat de Barcelona, according to your dual cover regulation. But also we are producing, of course, still wines from Dio Penedès, Dio Catalonia, Dio Terra Alta, and Dio Monsanto. And we are operating with winery since 1865. And we have the main facilities in the region, which is nearby Villafranca, and we are located in Villa del Penedès, which is, let's say, Penedès, which is the heart of the region, and which is the heart of Catalonia region and wine producer. This is their we're producing and we're selling the wine to different markets, and this is our wine of our winery. You see on the picture, this is the La Sala, Masia La Sala, and this is, you see the wines around there. Masia, this is the low Penedès and medium Penedès, but we also used to have and used to use the wines and the grapes from their high Penedès as well. We're, let's say, one of the let's say we're the benchmark for their Moscow producer. And if you know a product, you can recognize us because of good quality production for the mass market as well. But also, let's say we are quite innovative for the still wines, for traditional for cava, and innovative for the still wines as well. And for the still wines, the one you will see for today, you will test for today, which is like kind of innovation for us as a winery. What else? Bodega has been most awarded for the best wine in various categories in winery, which is, let's say, European Selection Riedel Awards. And in the 26th Berliner Trophy gave to us special awards to be best sparkling wine producer 2022. This is our cellar, and we have the main cellar in Masia La Sala, which is our main winery. As I have said, we're also producing Dio Penedès, and this is their product, and this is the appellation. We're quite proud because one of our still wines under the name of Cultivari has been awarded 2 times as the best white wine in Spain in 2016 and 2018. Also, we have a very good success for the red wine as well. Next one, please. What we're going to test today, this is our Masia Freya Syrah Tempranillo. And okay, the technical sheet, just to make a few comments. The harvest is manual. Syrah middle of September, Tempranillo beginning of September. Fermentation cask, pre-fermentation, cold maceration, 14 days, 25 degree to extract color and tannins. In oak, 5 months we have malolactic fermentation as well. Also, in color, intense and red color. The idea of this wine, just because when you are testing that, the idea of this wine, let's say, is not only the test itself and the quality itself, which is high. The idea is just to combine two variety, which is from one side, this is international one like Syrah, and Tempranillo, which is let's say Spanish wine, Catalan wine as well. Let's say this is the blend of two varieties. Let's say one of autochthone, because we have in this range we have also white wines, and part of these white wines they're like Charelio combined with Chardonnay as well. We have this idea to make a blend between international and the local grapes. The total production of this wine is not that high. It's around between 15 and 20,000 bottles. Generally, all our production of still wines, it's nearly 2 million bottles, but as I have said already, we are producing not only Dio Penedès, but also Terra Alta, Monsan, Penedès. This is let's say, our main, let's say, the core of our assortment of still wines. And as you can see that we're getting every year, we're getting quite a lot of medals and awards because of the quality and so on. That's probably all that I can say about the wine. I think your test is good, and if you have any comments, just let me know.
Just tell me, Arkady, the price, because the total production is 20,000 bottles, right?
Exactly.
And the
yes.
retail price is?
Okay. I have asked this question to our distributor in Poland. So one of our distributor for the still wines. This is Winoland company. Probably you know the company. They don't have in the portfolio this range yet. I hope so. But they told me that for the internet, they will have 60 zloty price of the
60
bottle.
zloty. Okay.
Because together with the Wienerland, we are selling well, and we're working with them for the many years now, and we'll sell another our range more for the mass market, and this range is Masia La Sala, which has 3 varieties in blend. Here we have, let's say, a little bit more professional, a little bit more for the connoisseur wine, and here the price a little bit high, but still affordable for the market, and still affordable for the consumer.
And I believe they are present today. However, they're typing something.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you for your notes. Yes.
Thank you, Arkady.
Thank you,
you very much, and really nice wine. Yeah.
Okay, I like that you enjoyed it. Syrah is my favorite one.
Great. Thank you.
Okay.
Take care.
Yes.
Right, and now it's Assis wine number. Well, guys, this is already number 10. Wow. Assis, hello. Join us again. Well, Wienerland was typing something, but
okay. Now you can hear me. Now we can
hear you. Now we can see you. Hello.
No, it's because I put the mute because he's talking. The Valformosa. Okay.
Right.
Okay. Now I changed the views. I changed the views too because I think that it's better for you. Because after the gas station, after different places to make the meetings, I make the meetings outside, and this is the farmhouse, our farmland. Okay. And I don't know. This is also Valformosa. It's very close from our estate. And here it's a village called Vilubli. And Vilubli, the name Vilubli comes from Villa Blanca. That is a place where there's a lot of gypsum in the soil. Okay, and that gives a lot of things to our wines. Really, I don't know. Sallesta and Suriol, we are a familiar estate that we are involved in make organic, biodynamic, great wines from our land. Here you can see our place. We are living in the middle of this place. It's Penedès region, and this is our house. And then we have 30 hectares surrounding our house where we live. This is our family. We are. This can be like more or less. We are for more than 500 years living in our property, and we are making wine forever. But at the same time, we want to make wine. We want to continue to make wine. But at the same time, we want to be farmers. It means that we want to make cheese also. We want to make olive. We make olive oil too, organic olive oil. And also we make other kind of products like, I don't know, wheat and other things, okay? And also we have a vegetable garden where we make our, the things for us, okay? Then the idea is like also we have animals that for biodynamic, a little bit of that it's really here. And then here you can see the winery. And our idea in the winery that it's like we are doing the minimum intervention. That means that we are not adding never any yeast because we think that the yeast, it comes from the vineyard, really, from the grapes. And the idea is like we don't have to add this because nature chooses the best yeast every year, okay? After that, we don't add anything to the winemaking, and the only thing that we can do is sometimes we make a soft paper filtering, and we add a little bit of sulfite sometimes, not in all the wines. It depends of the wine, okay? Because our idea is that you can really, the wines can arrive really at your home, really in the good conditions. Here you can see the barrels, and when we make, as I will explain you, we want to be farmers from here, and we want to make the traditional wines from our land. For us, it means that we have to use our traditional grapes. Also, we have to use the traditional yeast from our place. We don't have to add yeast. And the other thing that for us is very important is that we have to use the same idea that the traditional winemakers use here, that is the traditional farmers. They use the concrete tanks under the floor forever. In all the farmhouse we have that. And also they use the chestnut tree casks. If we never use oak, we never use oak. If we use wood in some of our wines, we use chestnut tree. Okay, that is a typical wood from the place. And then I don't know. Here you have also we are opened for tourists, and also we have a lot of stagiaires coming here to make the harvest with us. And as I explained you, we have 30 hectares of vineyard, and from these 30 hectares of vineyard, we make more or less an average of 150,000 bottles per year, half and half between wine and cava. Okay, I don't know. I suppose that the presentation is down, and if you have any question, you can do that. But also, I can talk about the wine if you want. Yeah.
Sant de Drac. Sant de Drac 2016. Sant de Drac in Catalan, that's our...
Sant de Drac means the blood of the dragon, okay?
And I don't know if you know the legend, but in St. George, there is a legend that the St. George killed the dragon, and from the blood of the dragon it appears a rose, okay? And St. George in Catalonia, it's a very important date because it's a date where men give a flower to the women and women give a book to the men. Now everyone give each other a book and flowers, but it's really a crazy day for everyone. We love this day, and also we love to be the Catalan culture, to promote books and cultural culture, okay? Then Sant de Drac, it's a single vineyard cuvée. It's only from Tempranillo, but really our Catalan clone that it's Ull de Llebre. It's the Catalan clone from Tempranillo, from our own selection. And then this Ull de Llebre, we make maceration for 10 days. And after that, it's more or less, depending of the year, but more or less it's 1 year in underground tanks, under the floor, and 1 year in chestnut tree casks, okay? When I say casks, it means minimum 500, but normally 1,000 liters per cask, per barrel, okay? And after that, we maintain the wine minimum for 1 year in the bottle, and then we can sell it. The idea is now we are starting to sell the 2016 vintage, this one. And I don't know, as you can see, it's a traditional wine with the idea of more this oxidation, with this the aromas of more. You can find the fruity and everything, but also you can find a little more of the chestnut that gives this oxidation. This more or less like really easy in the nose. It's really like pleasant. And after that, in the mouth, it has this a little bit of tannin that is present. It sweets perfect with meat, and really when it needs really fat or meat, needs something to it. And this is our Sant de Drac, 2016.
Yeah, I don't know. What do you find with the wine, with the tasting?
Thank you, Assis. And tell me, distributor price and the level of the number of bottles.
Yeah, in really we started like only half a year ago with a small distributor in Poland, and he's only working with some specific cuvées that we have, but we are not importing this moment Sant de Drac or other kind of these wines. Then it means that it's free for Poland. And at the same time, the price for this cuvée, for example, is 12 euros. And we, depending of the year, but more or less we can make between 5,000 bottles and 10,000 bottles per year. And for example, 2016, it's 8,000 bottles.
Okay. Guys,
it's really different. I don't know. It's because it's really different. It have, I don't know. It's another kind of things, and also for me, it's very important the mouth, that is really long and really, I don't know. It makes you give a lot of tannins. That it gives a lot of water in your mouth. I don't know. It's that.
Yeah, indeed. Thank you, Assis. What do you think?
Pleasure.
It's stay with us, please. If any comments in chat are coming, right? And thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you. And now, well, this is Andres and Masla Plana, guys. Familia Torres and Andres.
Hello, everyone.
Hello. Good evening.
Good. You're still there. I almost the last one.
Yeah, you're number 11, right?
Number
so
11.
I have to say, Andres, Masla Plana was the first serious Spanish wine I've ever tasted.
Thank you.
And well, for some, I don't know, 80 or 90 years, I haven't tasted it since then, right?
How you like it?
Now it's a big day.
Yeah, it's a good comment. Yeah, thank you so much. Now you can see the Spaniard we are and the Catalan we are speaking a lot, right? After all this tasting. But talking about Familia Torres is one of the famous families in the world of wine. We are part of the premium family Vini with the best family owners of wine industry, like Antinori, Rothschild, or Vega Sicilia, for example. We are in 150 countries around the world, and it's one of the big brands of the wine. We are very proud that we are from Penedès. We are working very close to our partners and colleagues in the region with many projects. We are pushing a lot to do Penedès one of the most important regions in Spain and also in Europe. We want to start before the tasting with a video, if you can put it. It's subtitled in English.
La finca Mas La Plana me gustó desde que la vi por primera vez. Sus suelos son arcilloso-calcáreos, profundos, con zonas aluviales. Todavía recuerdo que en los años 60, cuando empecé a plantar Cabernet Sauvignon, mucha gente no estaba de acuerdo. Incluso mi padre mostró sus dudas. Eran tiempos de experimentación. Buscábamos hacer algo nuevo, que no se hubiera hecho antes. Nuestra sorpresa fue que el primer Gran Coronas 1970 de la viña Mas La Plana ganó en París las Olimpiadas Gaumilot frente a los mejores vinos franceses. Mas La Plana nos marcó un nuevo rumbo. Teníamos lo necesario para elaborar grandes vinos. Ese era el camino.
Okay, now it's more clear. Let's go with the Mas La Plana, one of the icons wines of Familia Torres. This is 100% Cabernet Sauvignon, single vineyard wine. This is in the Alpe Penedès, and we have 28 hectares of this property. The production is really small to be in so many countries and a lot of restaurants like Michelin star restaurant and all the ratings. The price is around 80 euros retail price. And talking about the wine, is 18 months in a French oak, and also 18 months keep it in a bottle before we sell it. And it's a very complex wine. It's red fruits, spices aromas, round tannins, very long finish. This is the particular of this wine. If you can compare with the big Cabernet Sauvignon from the world, it's in the same line, like the Bordeaux and American Caps. It's very delicate wine and quite complex. Now, 2016, it was a great harvest for this wine. But we are thinking that probably in 2026, 2027 is the perfect timing for open. Keep it. And finally, for pairing, we think that for red meats, especially for lambs and cheeses, is the perfect pairing for this wine. And that's all for Mas La Plana. I want to be short. Any comments, doubts? You are in mute. Okay.
Yeah. Now.
For information, our distributor in Poland is CDC. Now, since 5 months ago, they're called Maspet. It's a big group that they have a lot of food and now they have wine and spirits. And we are very representative in North House and the capital of Poland.
Great. And how many bottles of this wine?
We are producing 40,000 bottles every year.
40,000.
Yeah.
So 80 euro, 8 euros and
80.
80. 80. Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah. very well balanced wine. And a question about your activity as a producer of brandy, because the brandy of
we are brandy
Penedès
producer
are very
also.
well known in Poland.
Yeah, we are brandy producer also. We are wine specialists and grape specialists. We use some grapes for you brandies. We are representing in Poland too. If you compare your last time with Mas Blanc and now, how you like it?
Well, this is like reading a book after so many years. So it's completely different than what I remember, but it's still thrilling. It still has this something. Yeah.
Yeah. Very good.
So I have to say it's it's a long gap between the first one and nowadays, right?
Good.
Thank
you,
you.
my friend. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much. And guys, well, definitely great wine, very well balanced wine. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And the score is also, the ratings are also pretty high, right? Guys, the last wine. Thanks, gracias. Yes, this is this Andres. Can Facious and Joan. Good evening. Hi. We can't hear you. The microphone. Press the microphone. No, Joan, we can't hear you. Microphone, please. No, still no. Microphone. If it doesn't work, go out and come back. Okay? We can't hear you. If the button is not reactive, go out and come back, because otherwise you're mute. No voice. Please go out if you hear me. Come back. Możemy wylogować. Let me try do it. Now you're frozen, I am afraid. Yeah. And well, guys, Andres is typing something. Thank you, Andres. We're not very active today, ladies and gentlemen. We expected more, I could say. Thank you. Yes, technical support also. And Joan is coming back. Or no? Well, can faces. So let us display the photos, perhaps. That would be yes. He is back. How was it? It's Johnny. Yes. Hello. Now, and the other button. The second button is your microphone. Now.
Okay, now I think it's okay.
Thanks God, okay. Yes.
Thank you.
I can hear you. Yes. Go on, please.
Okay, so thank you very much for your interest in Penedès wines. I am Joan Huguet, one of the brothers owning Canfeixes. Canfeixes is a lovely estate in Penedès wine region with 5 centuries of history. Now we are producing still wines and sparkling wines also. Well, we are, of course, organic, and we have 80 hectares of vineyards. We have 300 sheep. So all the manure from the sheep is to feed the vineyards. And we are in the regenerative viticulture, thinking to come down all the CO2 we have produced, come down to the soil to reduce the climate change. This is the landscape and Montserrat Mountain in the opposite side of Penedès, in the high part of Penedès. We are near 400 meters of altitude. This is very good for the ripeness of the grapes because we have fresh nights during ripeness and of course warm weather to have correctly ripeness. This is Tempranillo grape. For the reds, everything is picked by hand and we produce with low yield per hectare to have very good balance, the acidity, the tannins, and the sugar. Here we have the sorting table. All the grapes are picked by hand with boxes, and then in the sorting table, we take away botrytis grapes or bad ripeness grapes. And here, well, this is my young my young son with a big bottle of sparkling. For the wine we will taste is the Negra Tradició 13 Harvest. I hope you have tasted wines from Penedès, and even being in a warm weather, all wines have good acidity because in the Penedès wine region we have soil with a lot of phosphor, and this gives freshness for the wines. So we are very lucky because we have warm weather to have completely ripeness of the grapes and always freshness. And this balance very well. For the Negra Tradició, 13 Harvest is a blend of Petit Verdot, Merlot, and Cabernet Sauvignon. It's an expression of how can age the wine, keeping complexity, freshness. It's a 13, so it's near 9 years wine, and long taste, soft tannins, elegant tannins. With this wine, I think it's very good with mature cheese or red meats, because the fat of the meat with the tannins of the wine goes very well, and then it's great, lovely sensation. The production for this wine is about 25,000 bottles per year, and the price, retail price, is 15 euros.
Okay. And about the distributor in Poland?
No, for the moment we don't have distributors, so if somebody is interested, will be a pleasure, of course.
Okay, the comment, wow, very classic wine. Well, it's the... Okay. Great. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your interest in Penedès wines.
Thank you.
I think I am the one. Sure. Great.
Thank you very much. And it was the last wine. So if there's no more comments, and of course I cannot see now the comments. No more comments, guys? Well, something's coming. Well, very interesting tasting and some really great wines. Many thanks for extraordinary wines. Yeah. Thank you z drugiej strony lustra. And yeah, see the picture of Penedès landscape.
Okay, we are in Confessions.
Great.
Thank you, Joan. Thank you
Yes.
all. Many
Thank you
thanks.
very much. Have a nice day. Bye.
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 Good night.
Good night.
Good night to all. And stay in touch. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.